Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to make the Drapery bracelet. This is a really cute design created by my good friend 7284 Christy. You guys are probably very familiar with her. I've done a lot of tutorials for her already and we'll be doing many more in the future. So I'm a big fan of her design. She's very talented. So please let her know what you think of this design down below. So for today, we're going to need about 96 bands. That does not include the extension bands that you'll need if you're not doing a full length one. The breakdown is 28 of the side black, 22 of the white, 22 of the neon green, 12 of the white that sits in the middle, and 12 of the black that sits in the middle. Please consider hitting that thumbs up button down below and also hitting the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to my channel, and then you won't miss any future uploads. So to get started, you're going to have your normal rainbow loom set up in a staggered position, and you can connect another loom in front of this one where that long blue base would go if you want to avoid an extension. So the first thing we're going to do is choose the side bands. They're the black ones on this one here. I'm going to use this exact same color combination. So we will grab one of that color and just sit it loose in the middle for closing it later. And then we'll go out to the left and the right. And now we're just going to go down the sides. Just lay a straight border going down. If you're using one loom setup like me, you're going to lay 11 of these straight ones and then you're going to bring it into the center. But if you're using two looms, you're going to lay 20 straight ones and then bring it in to the center. Just like that. And then you're going to go ahead and come back to the beginning and do the exact same thing to get the left side done. So go ahead and get that done and I'll meet you back here. So once both sides are complete, come back to the beginning. We're going to choose two colors now. The first color that we lay, it's going to be the white that sits here, and then the neon green. So you can definitely do other color schemes, but I'm going with the easier version today. So with my white, which is my first color, we're going to lay diagonal bands going to the center, like that. And then with the second color, we're going to go from the center outwards, creating a V, like that. That's the two colors we're going to alternate. So I'll go back to the first one and lay it diagonally going into the center. And then with my second color going diagonally out, creating that V. And we're just going to alternate those two steps. You'll keep laying these until you cannot go any further down the loom. Alright, so once you get down to the end of the loom, you should be ending with your V band. And that's whether you're using one or two looms. Our loom should end the same. Push it down, we're going to come to the beginning. We're going to be laying bands going straight down the center. The first color that I lay is actually the same color as my white. So you can see right there, that's a different band than right here. But I like how it gives that thicker section. You can certainly use a different color, but I like this look better. So I'm going to match this band to whatever color band I have right here, and that's white for me. Then we have to lay a band right on top of that. I'm going to use black because I like that band to match my border, and that band is the one that sits right here. You can see it poking there and there. I like that all to be the same color. So that goes right on top like that. So there's two bands on that one pin right, or well, two pins right there. So we're going to lay that again. We're going to lay your first color and then right on top of it, your second color. So you're basically laying double bands right now. It just depends on which colors you want to use. So I'm going to keep laying my white and then my black on top. We're going to do this until we reach our band at the end of our loom. There really is a lot of possibilities that you can do, and it gives different looks. There was a couple that I really liked, and there was some ways that I didn't like, so I figured it was just best to show the easier color combo. Well, I find it easier. I don't know if you guys will. Alright, so I have all of my center bands laid. We're going to turn our loom around. You're going to grab one more of your border color. So the black is my border. We're going to wrap a cap band around the very center, like so. And we're ready to start the looping. The one thing I would say is go through and push the center bands down some so you have some more room. So to start looping, we're going to be going into the cap band and looping the center bands that we laid last. So the black and the white. If you don't feel comfortable looping in them at the same time, you can go in and grab the top one first, which for me is the black one that sits on top, and loop that forward. And then go back in and grab the second one on that same pin and loop that forward. But both of them need to get looped up like that. Once you loop it up, you need to grab the fourth band down. So whatever color you have on top, you're grabbing the bottom of that same color band and flipping it like that. So we're going to go into this pin now and do the same thing. So I'm going to do it one at a time, one more time. So I'll grab the top one, loop it up. I'll go back in and grab the second one and loop that up. Once again, you're going to flip the fourth band down. The fourth band down is always the same color on the top and the bottom, like that. So it is a lot tighter, but you can go in and grab them both at the same time and loop them up together. It's a lot faster. And then still flip that fourth band down. So that's how I'm going to do it, but whatever is easier for you. It comes out exactly the same whether you loop them at the same time or not. But go ahead and keep alternating looping the centers up and flipping that fourth band down, and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. So once you do get that complete, push those centers down just to give us a little bit more room. We're going to come to the beginning. We will start at the beginning by looping the starting border bands. So when you go into the cap band, bring the first diagonal to the right and the second one to the left. We're going to go into the center pin right here, and we're going to loop the greens downwards. It is a little tight in here, but once you move this out of the way, and if you have to, you can pull the cap band like that just to give you a little more room since it is so tight. But you're going to grab the first diagonal band and just bring it back to itself. So it goes down to the left. Go back in, bring the right one down to the right, like that. And now we're going to be flipping the third band up and over. So the third band down will be my green, like so. Do the same thing on this side. You might have to release this to be able to grab it. There we go. So now is where you're going to actually start to see the pattern. So what we're going to do is loop the borders first. So I'm going to go into this left pin. You're going to push all of the top bands out of the way so you can grab the very bottom. That bottom border band is going to get looped diagonally up to the second center pin, not the first one, but the second one. It's a long diagonal stretch. Do the same on the right one. You're going to back up, and now we're going to loop the white diagonal bands back to themselves. So push these out of the way and grab the top diagonal band. It's going to go diagonal to the left and then the right. Then you're going to come to the next center pin and loop the greens going down. This one is a lot tighter, so just take your time. Once you loop these greens down, we have to do some flipping. So we're going to come to the side. We're going to be looping the third band down, which is this white one right here. So I'm going to flip the third. And then you have to come back over, and now with the bands that are now there, you have to grab the fourth band down, which is going to be the bottom of the border right here. So it's not the very bottom band, it's the second to last, like so. So two bands should be getting flipped up. So I'm going to come on to the opposite side and do the same thing. I'm grabbing the third band down, flipping that. And then with the bands that are left, I'm going to now grab the fourth one, like so. That's the pattern, and we're going to repeat that again right now. So we're going to start by going into the side pin and grabbing the bottom border, looping that to the second pin up. Repeat on the right side, like that. You're going to back up from where they connected, and we're going to loop the whites out. It's your V bands that you're looping out. And then in this center pin, we loop the greens down. We're going to flip the third band up and over. And that border band, which is now the fourth band. So we are going to start that again, and we're going to grab our border bottom band here, loop it up to the center, back up a pin and loop your white V bands out. Come up to the next center pin and loop your greens down. We're going to come to the side and flip the third band, and come back and flip the fourth band. Repeat on both sides. So you can certainly keep following along. So I am just realizing that you can actually grab that third band and the border at the same time. So if you do it at the same time, you're actually grabbing the third and the fifth. It's the same bands, just you would consider them a different number if you do it at the same time. So you might have figured that out already, but I just for some reason figured that out. Okay, so I did jump ahead to the last section. Just going to do that really quick on screen. So we're starting the same way we've been starting by looping the border and then backing up and doing the white diagonal out. After you loop the white out, there is no more green to loop down and there's nothing else to flip over. So after looping the whites out, you just go straight into the corner pin and loop the bottom border into the center. And that finishes it off. Like so. So at this point, you would grab that loose band that we had laid there and reach down in the center. Bring both ends together, and you're either going to temporarily slide it down your hook or C-clip it if you need to add an extension. I'm not going to be doing an extension today, but I will put a little eye up in the corner here and in the description box below if you need to watch a video on how to add an extension. So once you do get it off of the loom C-clipped, I do like to give it a good little stretch just to help things fall into place. And sometimes the cat band is tucked up in there, so I do give that a little pull. But I love this design. I think it is really cool on both sides. I like how it has this like puffed up look. But you will have your extension made, and then you can go ahead and C-clip that to the cat band. I'm going to set that to the side for now. But that is how you create this super awesome reversible drapery bracelet created by 7284 Christy. Please make sure to tag her and myself if you are able to over on Instagram. But that is it for today, you guys. I thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.